My name is Maria del Cielo Isla, and today I'm going to talk about this non-typical teenager book. And I describe it like that because the plot is not a romance with love triangles or a good or an evil character. This book called It's Kind of a Funny Story, it's more than that. So if you want to know more about the book, I will tell you the story in a summarized way. But first, I'll tell you a little intro. Our main character is Craig Gilder, a 15-year-old guy that has diagnosed depression and also develops an eating disorder. So, the story starts with Craig revealing us in the very first chapter that he wants to kill himself. He is at his friend Aaron's house with a group of friends watching TV and smoking pot. But he refuses to smoke because he thinks that pot is the source of his problems. And also, we can see the thoughts that are in Craig's mind. The next day, Craig is with his therapist, Dr. Minerva, or Shrink, like he calls all the therapists. In the conversation, we learn that Craig calls tentacles to all the evil things that invade his life, and anchors are good things that occupy his mind and make him feel good, but just temporarily. And with Dr. Minerva, Craig recalls that when he was a child, he wanted to be a map maker. Then, on his way home, he passes by many food stores, and Craig explains us the problem he has experienced with food since becoming depressed. Most of the time, he is unable to eat, and other times, he eats as much as he wants. Then, at home, he has dinner with his family, his parents, and his young sister Sarah. Eating is a struggle, and even though Craig is eager to eat, after the dinner he runs to the bathroom and vomits. And in the bathroom, Craig starts thinking why he is depressed and begins to explain us the change of events that led to his current situation. He tells us that 2 years earlier he was accepted to a prestigious Manhattan high school. He prepared so much for the entrance exam and was thrilled when he was accepted. His best friend at the time, Aaron, was also accepted. So Aaron threw a party, and during the party, Craig tried pot for the first time. And also, Aaron and Nia, who is Craig's crush, became a couple. Then Aaron and Craig went for a walk, and Craig, feeling good, howled off the broken bridge. And then Craig tells us that he completed junior high, spending most of the time smoking pot at Aaron's house and becoming increasingly jealous of Aaron's relationship with Nia. He also became overwhelmed with the high school workload and intimidated by other students. In December, he experienced stress vomiting for the first time, and that's when he told his parents that he felt depressed. And after that, Greg saw Dr. Barney, who prescribed him Zoloft and recommended him to see a therapist. He felt a placebo effect immediately after taking Zoloft. And he also confided Nia that he was depressed, and she admitted that she was also depressed. And Craig felt good. Greg, well, felt better due to the solace. So he stopped. He decided to stop taking it. And back in the prison, exactly in the bathroom, 2 months after he has stopped taking Soloth, Greg decides to kill himself that night. He plans to sleep in his mother's bed and wake up in the early morning hours to sneak out to jump off the Brooklyn Bridge. But before that, he decides to call Nia to find out there was if there was ever any potential for them to become a couple, and she said that there was. After that, Craig can't sleep, and he does many things to get tired, and that's when he feels his heart's beating, and realizes that he wants to live. So he calls he finds a help self book and follow all the instructions and call a local suicide hotline. Then the local suicide hotline tells him that to go to the hospital, to emergency, and he agrees to go. Then Craig goes to the emergency room and call his parents. And with their support, he checks himself into the hospital, and thinks will be a quick visit. Then Dr. Manhau, that is his new therapist, tell him that he will be admitted with the adults as the hospital is undergoing renovations. Then in the psychiatric floor, a nurse tells Craig that he will be there minimum 5 days. Then a man named Bobby gave him a tour, and then he met his roommate. Then during the time Craig is in the psychiatric floor, he starts to befriend Bobby and also finds a new crush called Noel. And together they heal and relate with one another. He also makes big decisions during those days and come back his love of making maps. And finally, Craig soon comes back home and keeps in touch with Noel. And he sees all the little happy things in his life. And well, that's how the book ends. Well, in a summarized way, because the book is it's really amazing and I really like it, but one thing that I didn't like could be that the first chapters were slowly, and I could say that in the middle of the book it started the most important events. But I really recommend this book. Thanks.